Hi everyone, I'm Luna Piena, a humble Japanese translator. And actually, I'm the owner of the channel called Dawn Dusk. I started this channel discreetly, so many of you may not about its connection to Dawn Dusk. In this video, I'll provide the information and analysis of the chapter 1114 from the perspective of me who read this Jump, the original version One Piece. The chapter 1113 ended with Vegapunk declaring that the world would sink into the sea. This chapter begins with the reaction around the world to the Vegapunk broadcast. A common theme in the location depicted in this reaction is the implication that these are countries where world is suggested to be sinking. First, there's Jaya, where Luffy and his crew headed, which is an island in the sky with no worry of sinking. Water 7, traveled by Aqua Alta. Impel Down, which might have sunk in the past, and Tonjit, who has curiously in the high place. Before Straw Hat pirates departing Wano country, Oda Sensei sent out a letter during the 1-month break period. In the letter, he said like this: ワノ国編を締めまして、だいたい下ごしらえが終わります。下ごしらえ is the key word. It means groundwork. Groundwork refers to the preparation before the main story begins, and he continued like this. だってここからが One Piece です。From here begins the real story of One Piece. Thus, we can assume that Oda Sensei has been writing this manga for 25 years with the scenario of the world sinking into the sea in mind. Perhaps the time has finally come for various pieces to come together. This might be One Piece. Let's consider this from the perspective of mangaka. A mangaka I know mentioned that they generally prefer not to cram unnecessary information into the single panel. This suggests that the scenes of the world shown alongside Vegapunk broadcast are likely connected. For instance, when Saturn entered the Mother Flame room, Vegapunk said, "I have gotten too close to the sun." This implies that Mother Flame is likely related to solar energy. In this video, I speculated that the eternal energy might be the undying flame produced by the sun. While there has been popular speculation about plasma and electricity being the source of eternal energy, from this chapter, this solar theory is starting to seem more plausible. As Lilith said, the energy source of Egghead is fire. And this energy seems to be used as power in the moon cities and Weathalia as well. Mother Flame might literally be mother of flames that continually produces flames. Vegapunk had previously described the sea as nature's mother. However, it's highly likely that this mother flame is not yet complete. Lilith mentioned, if these were an undying flame, we could create a sun, indicating that Vegapunk is still in search of this undying flame. Personally, I believe that Nika's power might be what completes this missing part, and that's why he is called the Sun God. I think the reason Enies Lobby is an island where night never falls in because Nika created a pseudo-sun there. Incidentally, the catalyst for Vegapunk creating the Mother Flame was likely always experiment. The Lunarian race can keep flames alight on their backs as long as they are alive. Moreover, according to Queen, Lunarians can survive in any environment. This suggests that although they can keep flames on their backs, they can also live underwater. Now, pay attention to this sound effect. It's an onomatopoeia used when gas bubbles up vigorously in liquid. The flame of mother flame continues to burn even underwater, suggesting that it shares the same properties as that of the Bruneian race. Connection between the mother flame and the Bruneian race can also be inferred from the title of this chapter, Wings of Icarus. Icarus is a character from Greek mythology. The story goes that he gained the ability to fly freely with wings secured by beeswax, but he flew too close to the sun, causing the wax to melt and his wings to disintegrate, leading his fall and death. This title suggests that Vegapunk, who flew too close to the sun in his pursuit of infinite energy, is on a path towards a fatal destiny. Furthermore, the Bruneian race originally lived close to the sun. Yes, atop the red line. It might also imply that they faced destruction because they physically got too close to the sun. Even Joy Boy might have faced a similar fate. He was born a highly advanced civilization, but perhaps his scientific capability led him to commit a grave error, resulting in his defeat in the war against the Kingdom of the 20. I received a question from my Patreon member about this scene, so I'll answer it here. Is it possible that A and Mu is hinting at Astro Boy? Since I've received many messages about this, it seems this theory has already been spread widely, so there might not be need to discuss it further in this channel. You know, and in Japanese, to, something and something, nanika to nanika. That's why in this case, A and Mu becomes atomu. However, the possibility is certainly there. Astro Boy's energy source is nuclear power, specifically uranium, which is used as fuel in nuclear power plants. This suggests that the weapon used in Lucia attack fueled by the Mother Flame could realistically be Uranus. Additionally, as I explained in this video, Imu refers to himself as Mu, and in Japanese, this character is associated with the Mu continent. This implies the existence of Atlantis and Mu, suggesting that there might once have been a massive continent in the world of One Piece. In a scene where Marijoa was highlighted, Vegapunk mentioned that records related to the Void Century had been erased. At that moment, the Celestial Dragons were making a fuss about turning off the power, which likely means many of them are aware of the true history. However, in contrast, Charlier seemed unaware. This echoes a major theme from the Fishman Island about the will not to inherit. That a generation ignorant of the Void Century might hold the key to the future world. As I've mentioned in this video, Oda Sensei typically draws the more villainous celestial dragons with unattractive faces, yet Charlier is relatively beautiful. This suggests she might play a crucial role as a turning point among the celestial dragons, possibly because in One Piece, women with orange hair always seems to overcome the past grudges to live on. This might explain why the city was emphasized in the next page, Orange Town. Conversely, this girl seems to have been educated that 20 kings created the world. Look at this title of book, written in hiragana as world. Suggests it's a children's book, because the books for adults must be written by kanji. In Japanese, world for kids written like this, sekai, with hiragana. But for adults, you have to write like this, sekai, like this. Like Zoro said, Sanzen sekai. This reflects the kind of indoctrination education similar to what Kurozumi family conducted in Wano country, While it's true that the 20 kingdoms formed the current world government, these books likely portray these kings as protagonists and heroes. Vegapunk also said in this chapter, "History is the story." Next, in the panel depicting Sauro in Elbaf, Sauro is soul in Japanese. There's mention of the poneglyphs. This seems to suggest that both he and Elbaf could be connected to the man with the burned skull. I suspect that this man is Loki. If you are interested, please check out this video. Next, in this scene discussing how deciphering the poneglyph is forbidden by the world government, Margaret from Amazon Lily is shown. In this video, I discussed the theory about Lily, who related the poneglyph, might have created Amazon Lily, suggesting that this place could indeed be deeply connected to the Void Century. In the panel where Robin appears contemplative, Vegapunk mentions certain distinguished archaeologists. Robin was one of those archaeologists in Nohara. Finally, in the panel featuring Luffy as Nika, Vegapunk revealed that Joy Boy was the first pirate, and with that, the chapter concludes. Thus, there's a connection between the voice from the Vegapunk's broadcast and the scene depicted in the world. Reading manga this way allows for deeper analysis. Let's address translated related question from my Patreon member about this scene. The question is about the Japanese phrase, "born in a kingdom with an unimaginably advanced civilization 900 years ago." The questioner interpreted this to mean that Joy Boy was in a kingdom that existed 900 years ago, not necessarily that Joy Boy himself was born 900 years ago. Frankly, it can be interpreted either way. It could mean that Joy Boy was born 900 years ago, or he was born in a kingdom that had developed 900 years ago. However, from a native Japanese speaker perspective, it's more natural to interpret it simply as 900 years ago, Joy Boy was born in that kingdom. This means that 900 years ago modified the entire phrase. To summarize, it's safe to assume that Joy Boy was born 900 years ago. Additionally, some translations have Vegapunk saying he was the first man to take to the sea, but the original version simply states he was the first man called a pirate at sea. This implied that there were people who adventured on the sea before Joy Boy, but he was the first to be called a pirate. Vegapunk also mentioned that Joy Boy fought with a body that could stretch like the sun god Nika from Elbaf. As many of you know, many of the giants from Elbaf resemble Viking in appearance. The ships of the giant race also resemble the long ships used by Vikings. It's increasingly likely that Joy Boy had giant blood. I won't consolidate my thoughts about Joy Boy before discussing them in a video, so please wait a little longer. Anyway, I deal with Japanese translations, handle Japanese products, and give Japanese lessons. If you are interested, please contact me through the social media or email in the description. See you in the next video.